corso. Intanto vedo veramente che sono arrivate un sacco di persone ad essere qui con noi per questa finale Coppa Italia Primavera. Vedo una macchia bianca, dovrebbe essere le giovanili del Milan, vedo una macchia bellissima rosso-blu che hai portato questa mattina in aereo direttamente da Cagliari.
Sì, uno per uno, li abbiamo portati qui per supportare il Cagliari Primavera in questo importantissimo e storico traguardo, anche per noi, non solo per voi.
Assolutamente. Allora, se siete d'accordo, io partirei con la lettura delle formazioni. Partiamo con la formazione del Milan, con il numero 12 Alessandro Lontoni, con il numero 2 Adam Baccune, con il numero 6 Dorian Pawlowski, con il numero 10 Mattia Liberali, con il numero 13 Matteo Tuttu, con il numero 30 Alessandro Bonomi, con il numero 34 Cristian Comotto, con il numero 55 Daniel Mozic, con il numero 80 il capitano Victor Eletu, con il numero 82 Diego Sia e con il numero 98 Vittorio Magni. A disposizione con il numero 1 Edoardo Cozzani, con il numero 3 Frederic Nissen, con il numero 4 Tommaso Mancioppi, con il numero 7 Vincenzo Ferrucci, con il numero 8 Emanuele Sala, con il numero 15 Pietro Parmigiani, con il numero 25 Lorenzo Ossola, con il numero 29 Irash Pereira, con il numero 33 Federico Colombo, con il numero 90 Levis Asangi, con il numero 99 Filippo Scotti. Siede in panchina mister Federico Guidri.
E ora la formazione del Cagliari. Difende la porta rossa blu il numero 1 Zari Iliev, il numero 2 Federico Alba, numero 4 Mamadou Valde, numero 6 Nicola Pintus, numero 7 Diego Marcolini, numero 13 Andrea Congoni, numero 14 Joseph Lidetta, numero 16 Nicola Grandu, numero 19 Alessandro Bolzan, il numero 22 il capitano Alessandro Vinciguerra e con il numero 27 Anthony Franche. A disposizione il numero 33 Henris Auseklis, numero 3 Davide Collu, numero 8 Roberto Malfitano, numero 9 Sofie Lasciur, numero 10 Jacopo Simonetta, numero 17 Ivan Sulev, numero 18 Samuel Ardau, numero 28 Luca Costa, numero 31 Matteo Langella, numero 77 Matteo Marini e il numero 94 Yael Trebi. Allenatore Fabio Pisacane.
Arriveranno questa finale il signor Massimo Frassini di Calarate, gli assistenti sono il signor Simone della Mia Giovine e il signor Giovanni Guardo di Padova, quarto ufficiale il signor Giovanni Castellano di Michelino. precedere l'avvio del match è uno scambio simbolico che coinvolge i due capitani delle squadre finaliste in campo e i due oratori milanesi. I capitani delle formazioni primavera di AC Milan e Cagliari Calcio stanno autografando la fascia da capitano Keep Racism Out, simbolo della campagna di sensibilizzazione contro il razzismo e ogni forma di discriminazione promossa da Lega Serie A in collaborazione con UNAR. Le due fasce vengono consegnate ai giovani rappresentanti degli oratori ospiti che danno in cambio ai due calciatori la maglia Keep Racism Out, personalizzata per la Philadelphia Junior Cup. Signori e signori, facciamo un grandissimo applauso a questi due oratori e ai due capitani delle due squadre.
Ma l'hai chiamato te o l'ha chiamato col fatto?
Partiamo con la formazione del Milan con il numero 12 Alessandro Longoni, con il numero 2 Adam Bacune, con il numero 6 Dorian Pavoschi, con il numero 10 Mattia Liberali, con il numero 13 Matteo Tutu, con il numero 30 Alessandro Bonomi, con il numero 34 Cristian Comotto, con il numero 55 Daniel Hodrich, con il numero 80 il capitano Victor Eretu, con il numero 82 Diego Sia, con il numero 98 Vittorio Magni. A disposizione con il numero 1 Edoardo Gonzani, con il numero 3 Federico Nissen, con il numero 4 Tommaso Mancioppi, con il numero 7 Vincenzo Perlucci, con il numero 8 Emanuele Sala, con il numero 15 Pietro Parmigiani, con il numero 25 Lorenzo Ossola, con il numero 29 Irasha Pereira, con il numero 33 Federico Colombo, con il numero 90 Levis Asangi, con il numero 99 Filippo Scotti. Siede in panchina mister Federico Guidi.
E ora la formazione del Cagliari. Numero 1 Zari Iliev, numero 2 Federico Larva, numero 4 Amadou Balde, numero 6 Nicola Pintus, numero 7 Diego Marcolini.
Calcio tifosi, hello and a very warm welcome to the Arena Civica, the scene for the 53rd edition of the Coppa Italia Primavera final. As you can see, the sun is out, the sunglasses are out, the baseball caps as well. It's stunning weather, it's the ideal weather here at a unique and historic venue, for it is a unique and historic fixture. This stunning old venue, right in the heart of Milano. Parco Sempione, to be precise. We've got the Castello Sforzesco nearby, the Duomo very nearby, all within walking distance. We are surrounded by beauty, surrounded by history. It's Calcio, and it's taking centre stage right now. There's plenty of teams starting out on the road to the final, but it's Milan and Cagliari who have progressed to the showpiece event. Question now is, will it be the Rossoneri? Can they lift the coveted trophy for a third time? Or will it be Cagliari to win the competition for the first ever time in their history? Background you can hear Viva la Vida, Coldplay's iconic track, so often accompanying sporting events, big events. At the final stage, some motivational music. Both these sides would have already had all their motivational talks, speeches out the way by now. We're going to the final minutes before kickoff, 1500 local time. It's all about that focus, getting into the zone, cool heads, warm hearts. There in the background you can see the Cagliari flags, the Cagliari banners. Reportedly more than 150 have actually made the trip over from Sardinia, that according to Rai, state broadcaster, equivalent of say BBC in the UK. If you tuning in and watching from the United Kingdom, welcome along. See the playing surface as well. Done a lot of work to get it up to tip-top condition here at the Arena Civica. This old venue which was inaugurated in the 19th century in 1807. So much history. Once the home to the likes of Inter and Milan. Also the venue for the first ever international fixture between Italy and France. That's Francesco Camarda to your left. Needs no introduction, of course. Rising star in the Milan Academy. Luigi De Servo. Serie A's CEO, who's naturally present for this event, and present also this morning when Serie A said they want to try and make this ground the Arena Civica. Gianni Brera, the home to the Coppa Italia Primavera final for many years to come. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, advisor to Redbird, advisor to Milan. His son is part of the Milan squad, but he's not in the squad list today. He's not 100% fit, but he's been part of the team's run to the final. Still a very proud father. Watching on then in the stands, we've also got Jeffrey Moncada, another Milan director, present. Plenty of the Milan youth teams present as well to cheer on the senior end, one could say, of the youth sector, the Primavera. It's under 20 to be precise. Literally a word for spring. Primavera, the Italian word for spring. The Cuore Rosso Blu, the red and blue heart, and that's what Cagliari will need today if they are to make some history. So we now go into the locker rooms. Some of the tension pre-match. Milan will be in their traditional colours. Rossoneri jersey, those red and black stripes. Spoiler alert, Cagliari in their chain strip today, and there it is. The all-white with some gold and black trim. The rosso blue, the red and blue stripes. Today they've got that chain strip. Hoping though that the white jersey will bring them luck as they look to make some club history. They've already made it by reaching the final. Here at the Arena Civica, full name Arena Civica Gianni Brera, which is a nod, a tribute to the legendary Italian journalist Gianni Brera. Gianni Brera coined so many expressions now which are used in the Italian press and in calcio as a whole. Particularly Derby d'Italia is one of his. Derby Viti to describe that intense rivalry between Juventus and Inter, but Juventus and Inter aren't in the final. Oddo also in the house. So Bernardo Corradi as well. Plenty of famous faces and former players watching on there. Now, majority of them embarking on coaching careers, first team level or at youth level. These very famous faces. Cameras to pick them out over the course of the afternoon here, and it's a lovely shot from above of the Arena Civica. So much work, as we said, has been done. Get the playing surface to the best level possible. Once could hold 30,000 supporters, the Arena Civica, now around 9,000. The match officials just waiting for the all clear to lead out the two teams. Final moments of tension, and there it is, the Coppa Italia in all its glory. Argentina, the holders, but they were dumped out. The quarter-final stage by Cagliari. Thumbs up. Here we go. A host of teams started out on the road to the final. but it's Milan and Cagliari who have progressed to the showpiece event. Calcio tifosi, hello and a very warm welcome to the Arena Civica, the scene for the 53rd edition of the Coppa Italia Primavera final. A unique and historic venue for a unique and historic fixture. Can Milan lift the big prize for a third time in their history? Or will it be Cagliari to win the competition for the first ever time in their history? In this iconic setting, in the heart of Milano, it is Milan against Cagliari in the Coppa Italia Primavera final. Milan have the edge when it comes to the league meetings this season. They won in Milan, they drew in Sardinia. Cagliari go into this in great form, unbeaten in 6, 4 wins and 2 draws. Will that give them the edge this afternoon? So Vinci Guerra for Cagliari, the skipper, leading the Islanders through for the pre-match handshakes. All going past the stunning Coppa Italia in all its glory there. Is Letu to skipper Milan today. The number 80, the Nigerian. One of the senior figures, one could say, in this Milan side. He's 20 years of age, this Milan side and squad, which is actually the youngest in the Primavera Championship, the under-20 Italian Championship. Average age of just over 18. So taking on a Cagliari side which has a bit more experience in terms of years. Milan are ahead in the league table by 9 points, but as we were saying, league form goes on hold. This is a Coppa contest, a one-off unique fixture. Your referee as well for this afternoon, Maxime Massignac. They're the Cagliari starting 11. The Rossoneri starting 11 for the showpiece final. There is Fabio Pisacane, the Cagliari coach. What a moment for him. The former Cagliari midfielder and defender, versatile player. He's now cutting his teeth as a coach. Fabio Pisacane looking to get the better of Federico Guidi of Milan, who took over from Abate last summer. Milan last year reached the final of the UEFA Youth League, only to lose at the final hurdle. Raziliev, the young Bulgarian, looking to impress. Final checks from the referee, the arbitro. We'll be getting underway. The stage is set. We're ready. The referee's ready. And we are underway. Cagliari playing from right to left in the all-white strip, the change strip for this final. Sing high up, but Cagliari have done well to beat the press. They've pushed themselves right up here. Just stopped in their tracks though with the flag going up on that far side, so there's temper early on already about the game. Milan springing forward trying to press, but Cagliari doing really well to get right up the other end of the pitch. This Cagliari side which beat Juventus in the semi-final, winning 2-0. Torino in the round of 16 and knocking out the holders Fiorentina in the quarter-finals. Fiorentina very much the Coppa Italia Kings, winning 5 of the past 6. That's a nice touch. As for Milan, they beat Genoa on penalties in the round of 16. Then Federico Guidi's boys beat Inter in the derby. In the quarter-final, also on penalties. And then in the semi-final, they edged out Lecce. Thanks to a goal from Filippo Scotti, who starts on the bench. for the rossoneri. On the ball right now, looking to patiently just pass it around and find an early opening here. There's Tutu out wide. This is promising for Milan. Just overran there on that far side. From Alessandro Bonomi. A thumbs up from Bonomi, who did actually net against Cagliari earlier this season in the league. Have just joined us, or recently joined us. Welcome along to the Coppa Italia Primavera final. Two sides after a tempo start now, just looking to size each other up early on here. Now Bakune. Now Cagliari on the ball. Switch the play now, the Islanders. Pressure here for Balde. Magni coming up from the back. Italy Youth International. Also has experience with Milan Futuro, which is basically the Milan B team that plays in the third tier Serie A of Italian football. Senior football. Step up from youth level and from Primavera Calcio. Adam Bakune, also a Italy Youth International. He does also qualify for Morocco. And then on the ball, they know they have their work cut out. Cagliari have the best defence in the Primavera Championship. Only 28 goals conceded this season. Clean sheets in all competitions for Iliev, 2 of those coming in the Coppa Italia. Coach Pisacane just calling on them to not put too much pressure on themselves today. Play, of course, with hunger, with pride, give their all. Be proud of what they've achieved. Historic feat for Cagliari. As for Guidi, said they have to fight tooth and nail to win this competition. He knows what it takes, having guided Roma Primavera to the Coppa Italia in 2023. To experience at youth level for Federico Guidi, formerly of Empoli and Fiorentina as well. Experience at youth level with the Italian national team. So the Azzurri played their first ever fixture against France in 1910 at the Arena Civica. It's a historic venue. Home to Inter and Milan. Period where the 2 Milanese giants would often ground hop before eventually settling at the Meazza or San Siro. If you're an Inter fan, you're more likely to call it the Meazza, seeing the success Peppino Meazza had with the Nerazzurri. Did play briefly for Milan, but best known for his time with the Nerazzurri. That's why Milan fans prefer to call it San Siro, which is the neighbourhood, the area of Milan on which the stadium is located. These players one day hope to be playing and starring, and has also been the venue for plenty of Coppa Italia Primavera finals, the San Siro, including the last time Milan won it, which was back in 2010, beating Palermo. A 2-legged final then. Simone Verdi amongst the scorers. Milan squad also include the likes of De Sciglio and Antonio Donnarumma, the older brother of Gigio Donnarumma, starring with PSG. Now Liberali played at first team level for Milan, and here he is, Liberali. Still with Liberali. He's won the first corner of the match. Made his first team bow against Genoa in December under Paolo Fonseca. Highly rated. Liberali, who's already netted twice in the Coppa Italia this season. Could add another one, of course, in the big occasion in the final. In comes the corner. So often in these finals it can be a dead ball situation that gives the team an advantage or breaks the deadlock. I'd say it's an episodio, or decide something, a match incident. Now Liberali, the idea was there for Diego Sia. Starts ahead of Scotti today. Just joining us in terms of team news, there is no Maximilian Ibrahimovic, the son of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's not 100% fit, so missing out today for Milan. He's been part of the squad in their run to the final. Not the only son of a famous former footballer out there today. Also got Comotto, son of Gianluca Comotto, former Fiorentina man. This is a great run by Aletu. Here goes Aletu! And Iliev gets down low and makes the save. First effort on target. And it comes from the captain, Victor Aletu. Nigerian driving forward there. What a shot away. For Cagliari, we've got Diego Marcolini, who's the son of Michele Marcolini, the former Chievo, amongst others, midfielder. Rising Donkeys, who shot to fame the dawn of the 21st century. Gigi Del Neri, ruffled a few feathers, that's for sure, in the Italian top flight. Don't forget their victory against Inter at San Siro, for example. So qualify for Europe as well, which is remarkable. Here's Federico Guidi, looking to get the better of Fabio Pisacane, the latter at the very start of his coaching career. Guidi very much in the thick of it. Just assessing his options here on this near side. Dudu wears that famous number 13 jersey for Milan fans. It'll make them think of Sandro Nesta. Also Lazio fans as well. His association with both Lazio and Milan, Sandro Nesta. Dutu's actually born in Rome, the Romanian. Youth international. Milan, after his experiences with the Lazio Academy. Older brother probably playing for Foggia. Now Diego Sia come down from Milan Futuro to play his part today. Magni going to take on this Cagliari defence. Still with Magni, twisting, turning. Going to settle for a throw-in on that far side. Vittorio Magni. Going to provide some width. Vittorio Magni and Adam Bakune, the two fullbacks. This 4-3-3 for the Rossoneri. Long throw. Done by Comotto to turn 17 until later this month. Aletu. Bonomi for Sia. He actually turns 19 today. Hoping to make this a very special birthday for Sandro Bonomi. It's a proud day for Milan. Previous 2 wins, we mentioned the one in 2010. Coached by Giovanni Stroppa. His experience with the likes of Monza and Crotone as coach, and of course Milan legend from his playing days. First triumph back in 1985. Fabio Capello, the same Capello who would eventually then guide Milan to success at home and abroad, and of course coach likes of Roma and Juventus amongst others. It's a smart ball. It's caused a few problems. And the company will settle for a corner, the second of the match. Didn't reach the final 7 years ago, Milan, but they were beaten. So hoping this time, and in their 15-year drought, close to lifting the big prize. Plenty to aim for. Comes the corner, it's flicked on! Sia was there, just lurking. Now a chance for Cagliari on the break. Vinci Guerra. Ian Bolzan netting those decisive goals against Juventus in the final 4. So much of the ball. Well, just to keep it away from Cagliari. Diletto. Just to poke it away. Orzic is captain under 21 level with Sweden. One of those like Magni has experience with Milan Futuro. They're actually struggling though, Milan Futuro. Best of clearances by Iliev. Can Milan capitalise? They did their very best to do exactly that. See how the shot on the turn from him. The deflection on its way through. Again, plenty to aim for. We're approaching the 15th minute. Very pleased with the way they've started. They're seeing all of the ball. Corner's curled in! And Bakune was there. Just couldn't make the connection. Milan number 2. In Poland. Representing Italy at youth level, but can also qualify for Morocco. Another one of the skippers in the team. In fact, he captained the team against Lecce in the final 4. Down the line, Bakune. They just pass it around. Dutu for Dorin Paloschi, who's making his 50th appearance today for the Milan Primavera. Hoping to celebrate that milestone in style in the best fashion possible, which would be to lift the Coppa Italia. Lovely touch, great flick. Here is Bonomi. Bonomi takes a big deflection. Iliev comes and he claims. Iliev and Cagliari have just been so solid this season. And the goals conceded in the Coppa Italia, both coming against Fiorentina in the final 8. Clean sheets against Torino. Clean sheets against Juventus. Juventus who club which needs no introduction. Torino, meanwhile, at youth level, are forced to be reckoned with. There's another feather in the cap for Cagliari. Fabio Pisacane. Like he doesn't have to be forced into a change. Just a little thumbs up from Iliev over the condition of Litetta, Zambian number 14. Here's Fabio Pisacane. It became tragedy as a teen when he He's diagnosed with GBS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, leaving him paralysed, but made a miraculous recovery to then return and go on and make his dream possible of playing professional football. Now, making waves at youth level with Cagliari, with the Primavera, which has just recently joined us, which is the under-20 level. It's under 19, but the slight rule change at the start of this season. Now those who will turn 20 in the course of the season to be involved and play. Relief Route 1 stuff. Chiguera, was he fouled there by Paloschi? The referee didn't think so. No relation to Alberto Paloschi, if you're wondering. We've been quite right to wonder and ask, as we said. We mentioned Maximilian Ibrahimovic, Christian Comotto, Diego Marcolini. Swept upfield. Are we going to have a yellow card here? We are. Paloschi fouled. We have the first booking of the final. It goes the way of Bolzan. Cagliari number 19, one of the goal heroes against the Bianconeri in the semi-finals. So it's a crash challenge. The studs are up as well. Going to ask for better weather for the occasion. Quite overcast this morning, but the weather's cleared up. The sun is shining, so it reflects the mood in the two camps going in to this contest. So much excitement. Milan hoping to end their trophy drought when it comes to lifting the Coppa Italia. It's been 15 long years. Cagliari, meanwhile, hoping to make history here at the Arena Civica. The powers that be saying they hope this will be the venue for many years to come for the Coppa Italia Primavera final. Certainly historic. Inaugurated at the start of the 19th century. So much history. So they've made a lot of work to get it ready for this event. Now Liberali. Position goes the way of the Islanders. And as yet, not from that first minute when they managed to spring up the pitch quickly, beat Milan's press. Really found it hard to get out their own half. It's been 20 minutes of sofferenza, as the Italians would say, really just having to dig deep. Try and throw in a few Italian expressions. Also pay tribute to Gianni Brera. The stadium also bears his name, the legendary Italian journalist. Now Vinci Guerra, he's through here. Vinci Guerra! Cagliari lead! They've barely had a sniff. But Vinci Guerra fires them ahead, fueling dreams of a first ever Coppa Italia triumph. And those travelling supporters sent into rapturous joy. It was a hopeful ball upfield. Nicola Grandu. Then Vinci Guerra still had so much to do. And he checked inside, gave himself that angle to fire away the shot. And one of the goal heroes from the semi-final win against Juventus, Alessandro Vinci Guerra, on target in the showpiece final. What a moment for the 19-year-old. Doesn't turn 20 until August. Salutes his supporters. Now Milan, after seeing all of the ball and looking the more dangerous, the more threatening, find themselves behind. Now you can hear Forza Cagliari from the Cagliari supporters. Also got the Cagliari mascot here as well today, which is a flamingo. And of course the Milan mascot as well, as you'd expect. And part of the pre-match festivities, fun and games. Towards Sia. It's a foul there by Christian Comotto. Only Tetta. That's what we were saying about previous meetings in the league. Count for very little. And there's a final, form book goes out the window, anything can happen. So plenty of occasions the so-called underdogs or the less fancied team winning. If you had to say who is the favourite, well, Milan 1 points clear of Cagliari in the league. Milan battling it out for a playoff spot in the Primavera Championship. And beating Cagliari on home soil in the league, drawing there. So struggled recently in the league. In fact, they lost their past 2 league encounters. Beaten their past 5 in the Primavera Campionato Primavera Championship. So we'll try and throw in a bunch of those Italian expressions and sayings to honour the great Gianni Brera, the late Gianni Brera. Changed Italian journalism, and so many of his expressions used today when it comes to calcio. Della Italia, of course, the most famous one. Vinci Guerra. Can he now find a teammate? His goal splits the teams as we go towards the 25th minute mark. Now Litetta. The time being just happy just to pass it around, keep it away, protect this lead. Diego Marcolini. It's Milan who can break. Modzic clearly fouled there. Doesn't look like we're going to have another yellow. Just clattering into him there, Nicola Grandu. Francesco Camarda. Plenty of experiences with the Milan first team this season. And we also spotted Sotil and Ibrahimovic. Watching on, they're disappointed for the time being. Mario last season was with the Primavera. For his promotion to the first team squad, and of course playing with Milan Futuro in the 3rd tier of Italian football. Still seeking though that first goal with the Rossoneri first team. Teenage scorer for the Rossoneri, like Gianni Rivera, the club's golden boy from the 60s and 70s. It's the collective, of course, that comes first, but personal milestones are always nice to have, especially if you're a forward or attacking midfielder. You do have to live for goals. Your bread and butter is Francesco Camarda. Has come close, of course, to scoring. He had that goal ruled out, you may remember, in the Champions League earlier this season. Fault him for trying, Francesco Camarda. I'd love to have had him available for this match. Part of their squad this season, but he's making that step up. Now Dutu. Mentioned earlier, currently coaching a stone's throw away from Milano at Monza. Things are very difficult right now for him. not yet mathematically relegated, but they've had one foot in Serie B for some time. Brianzoli goes to Serie A for the first time thanks to the investments of the late Silvio Berlusconi. Now Aletto, Liberali, that's a clever ball. This should be the equaliser. Comotto! And it's palmed away by Iliev. Great chance for Comotto. Iliev, though, managing to make the save. That was a great opportunity to make it 1-1. For the time being, Milan have to just settle for a corner. Just slight delay here. Plenty of movement then inside the area. One has swung in! And Iliev somehow has kept it out. Danger not over, though. And then it is right now, though. So the referee blows his whistle. Bonami. But Iliev, two really good stops. First on Comotto, and then here on the corner. Somehow managing to keep it out. The Bulgarian youth international. Berlusconi a few moments ago. It was here at the Arena Civica where Berlusconi unveiled his new look Milan in 1986. He and the then Milan players arriving via helicopter. That was just fresh from acquiring the club. Berlusconi taking over from Giuseppe Farina, aka Giussi Farina, choosing this location to make his mark, lay down his plans for Milan to conquer Italy, Europe and the world, which they did just that. Sacchi in the dugout. Berlusconi's investments. Galliani, his right-hand man as well. So, Alex Bride as well, plenty of figures, of course, playing their part. Of coaches, Capello and Ancelotti also making their mark when it comes to home and abroad. Others have come and brought domestic success as well. Ungoni, such as Allegri, for example. Zaccaroni, Pioli. It's those three. Sacchi, Capello, and Ancelotti bringing both domestic and international honours, and so there's a unifying factor there. They're all Italian. That famous Italian coaching school. Vitetta. Old Sands is sliding there in. The coaches, the directors, the investments, but the players, of course. Think of those homegrown talents first of all, the likes of Maldini and Baresi, as Lettu tries to dance his way through. Now Liberali. And that famous Dutch trio, of course, Van Basten, Gullit, Rijkaard. So many famous faces for the Rossoneri, and these youngsters want to try and emulate their success, although they'll be looking up to more recent generations. The likes of Kaká, Nesta, Shevchenko. Maybe even in more recent years, even the likes of Leao and Hernandez, to be fair. Such a proud club. Doesn't matter whether it's at youth level or senior level. It's about winning. First team winning the Super Coppa earlier this season and now in the hunt for the Coppa Italia. Love it if the Primavera under 20s could win it. And then Sergio Conceição's boys get the better of Inter in the semi-finals. And then beat what looks like it's going to be Bologna in the other finalist. That's their 3-0 lead over Empoli. Flash back now though to this fixture. This Coppa Italia Primavera final. Chiguera's goal splitting the two teams, but Milan have seen so much of the ball. Can they start to make it count? Here is Liberali. He got that last touch. They all go looking across. Liberali saying it came off a Cagliari jersey last. Another shot there of Ibrahimovic, advisor to the club, senior figure. Side Moncada, another director for Milan. Here comes the corner. It's a disappointing one on this occasion. Last time it forced a save out of Iliev. Not on this occasion from Liberali. He's heavily bandaged up there, you can see his right knee. Yeah. Cogoni in the Cagliari defence. He's had a little bit of experience, or rather a taste, of first team football on the bench. More than one occasion this season in Serie A for Davide Nicola's Cagliari, who are battling out to avoid relegation. They are currently safe and outside of the bottom three. Davide Nicola's men. Took plenty of the play passing through him in the middle of the park. Orsic, like to another sort of senior figure in the side, two 20-year-olds. Chance to break. Valde. Marcolini. Litetta. It's awkward from Diego Marcolini, but kind of done well. They've dealt with it. Litetta. Vinciguerra looking to get beyond Magni. And he's a tricky customer. It's a fabulous ball by Vinciguerra. They're looking for Bolzan for the second! Cagliari, 2 goals to the good. It's the two front men doing the damage. First Vinciguerra and now Bolzan. They're goal heroes in the semi-final, stepping up in the showpiece final. Unbridled joy for the Rossoblù. 2 goals to the good, 36 minutes gone. Still a long way to go, but they are very much in the driving seat. Longoni could only parry it towards Bolzan, who was in the right place, right time to fire it home. Managed to coordinate himself and apply that finish. Longoni may have hurt himself in the process in that attempt to make a save on Bolzan. And Pisacane will be just saying to his players to keep cool heads, not allow Milan a way back into the match. Milan have seen a lot of the ball, in fact all of the ball, and have just been more clinical, had that cutting edge. Guidi will know there's a long way to go. He's guided players before to this Coppa Italia 2023 for Roma. Coach likes of Pisilli now really impressing at first team level with the Giallorossi. Also part of a Fiorentina youth team that reached the Scudetto final in 2017. Federico Guidi only to lose to Inter in the 16-17 season. So much experience, knows what it takes. He's certainly been around the block. Vinci Guerra putting the pressure here on Longoni. It's just a booted upfield. Yellow card. So the first one shown towards a Milan player is Hodzic. Milan, to some extent, we consider the home team. We're playing in Milano, the Arena Civica. It's not the place where, of course, Milan Primavera played their home fixtures. They played at the Centro Sportivo Vismara. Those who are fans of the Kings League followed any of the Kings League earlier this year. Kings League World Cup Nations. We've seen the group stages were actually played at the Vismara Sports Centre before the final, which took place in Turin at the Allianz Arena. Allianz Stadium. Allianz Arena is where Bayern were beaten by Inter last night, but fans won't want to talk about that. Aletu roll it through. Guidi just preaching for calm. Quite rightly. All they need is just a goal that can put a bit of fear and spark some fear into Cagliari. A long way to go. Positive side, they're sitting up to the ball, they're passing around nicely. Managed to find a couple of openings. Okay, so do they persist with that strategy, or do they perhaps try and be more direct, tweak their tactics slightly, change their formation? I think right until at least the end of the first half they'll do as they have been doing, maybe look to the bench. Mentioned Scotti earlier, he was the goal hero in the semi-final against Lecce for the Rossoneri youngsters. Trying to find a way back into the match right now. Opportunity from a dead ball situation here. It's curled in, and away. And a lot of pressure there, that could have gone anywhere. Longoni, who's just 17 years of age, turned 17 back in January. One of those lowering the average age of this Milan squad, the youngest in the league, and over 18 years of age. He's really hurt himself there. On his near side. The determination to get there. The ball from Matteo Dutu. Punching challenge. And Anthony Franchi. Young Pole for Cagliari. Spotted the number 125, 125 on the back of the Milan jerseys. Milan who celebrated their 125th anniversary in December. In fact, it was against Genoa, and tonight that Mattia Liberali made his debut for the Milan first team, the number 10. Boni heading it upfield. Aletu. Sia will chase. Can Sia get there? This is awkward. Liberali into the side netting. And just chatting about him, Matteo Liberali. There he is. Unable, though, to hit the target. Iliev came. In hindsight, the wrong call. Sia putting that initial pressure as the ball broke the way of Matteo Liberali. Magni. Sia with a flick on. There's Liberali. Sia and his determination. Still with Sia. Goes to ground. Penalty. Diego Sia has given Milan a lifeline here. Minutes before the break. He has won the Rossoneri penalty. Pure determination. Great work rate. That never say die spirit. Arba guilty of giving away the penalty, making the foul. Of course, at this level, there is no VAR. The referee, that was well placed there, good view of it. No hesitation, disappointment from Pisacane. Again, Iliev come to the rescue for Cagliari. Big moment this for Milan. And it's come out. And it has come crashing off the bar there. Speechless. Alessandro Bonomi. Bit of disappointment for him. Shake of the head. Frame of the goal is still shaking. Struck it with so much power, Alessandro Bonomi. It takes Bottle to step up and take a penalty. Takes courage. 18-year-old though just couldn't keep it down. Now route one from Milan. Filippo Arba will be very relieved. The Cagliari defender who gave away the penalty. Iliev relieved as well to see the ball come crashing off the frame of the goal. Now one last roll of the dice before the break. Magni, it's up in the air, 50-50. Liberali trying to turn. Balde. Bonomi goes appealing, but referee not interested. And he'll still be pondering that penalty. So far it's been a real disappointment for Milan this first half. 2 goals down, a penalty miss. So much power on it. Keep it down, Alessandro Bonomi. Give the Rossoneri that lifeline they crave right now. And there's still a long, long way to go. Like Iliev, like Arba, like the rest of the Cagliari players, very, very relieved. It's a long throw. Final minute of added time of the first half. Booted upfield, Vinci Guerra will chase. Franchi. Grandu. Done well there. Drawing in players, winning a foul. Just allowing Cagliari just to take the sting out of Milan's game. The dying embers of this first half. The drawing board for Federico Guidi. Just And pick up his players, keep morale high. Detta will need to force the issue. Referee looks at his watch and brings the curtain down on the first half. Vinci Guerra fired Cagliari ahead. He was also involved in the second, netted by Bolzan. Arba gave away a penalty, but Bonomi couldn't make it count, and Milan unable to make the most, make full use of their lifeline. At half-time then, it is Vinci Guerra and company. It is Cagliari in the driving seat. They lead 2 goals to the good. They are currently on course for their first ever Coppa Italia triumph. Don't go away. Live action of the second half on the way. hello again and welcome back to the Arena Civica, where Cagliari are currently 2 goals to the good. They're just 1/2 away from getting their hands on the Coppa Italia, the coveted prize. Milan were presented with a lifeline towards the very end of the first half. They won a penalty. It was Diego Sia who was fouled by Federico Arba. But Bonomi stepped up, and fortunately for him, he wasn't able to deliver. He struck the frame of the goal. Struck it with real power, venomous strike. Just couldn't keep it down. Cagliari then preserving that 2-goal cushion then ahead of the start of the second period. Vinci Guerra and Bolzan on target for the Islanders. Fabio Pisacane then on course to make it, should it end this way of course, a first season in charge of the Cagliari Primavera in some style by lifting silverware. And here come Cagliari. Milan have already made their way out, lined up ready and raring to go for the restart here. The Arena Civica, full name Arena Civica Gianni Brera, of the legendary Italian journalist who rewrote the rule book when it came to journalism in Italy, coining so many famous expressions. Part of the calcio vocabulary and lexicon, which are used even in the English-speaking world. And there Bonomi hoping to put that disappointment behind him. Alessandro Bonomi on the day that he actually turns 19 years of age. At half-time we also spotted plenty of famous faces inside the ground. Of Gilardino, Costa Curta, all in the house. No doubt their allegiances with the Rossoneri. The 2007 Champions League winner with Milan. Started the season in charge of Genoa, before being replaced by Patrick Vieira. As for Alessandro, aka Billy Costa Curta, countless European triumphs and domestic triumphs with the Rossoneri. Former Italy international, although he didn't win the World Cup, unlike Gilardino. We also spotted Nicolò Barella, current Inter midfielder, who starred last night, the man of the match, in Inter's 2-1 win in the backyard of Bayern Munich. From Sardinia, very through and through. Playing for Inter, living in Milano, coming to watch his team Cagliari, which is in some way, you could say, related Alessandro Vinci Guerra, because Alessandro Vinci Guerra is currently going out with his sister. Referee wants an early foul here in favour of the Islanders, done by Nicola Grandu. We'll see how the two coaches approach this second half. For Cagliari, is it a case of just protect this advantage, play it safe, or do you try and push for that third and just open up even more daylight between yourselves and the Rossoneri? As for Milan, well, they have to get a goal back. It's as simple as that. They have no option but to really try and go for it. The kick is whipped in by Bakune. Teta. Grandu goes to ground. Common for players to hail from Cagliari or Sardinia to have nicknames, surnames ending with the U. That's of Grandu, Marcedu. It's a sign that someone hails from that very proud island of Sardinia, the Sunshine Island. Grandu's ball short. Curled in, there's the header from Frankie. Several to have gone to represent Cagliari and to hail from Sardinia, and likes of Zola as well, further back in time of course. Sal. Pisacane, of course, not from Cagliari, originally from Naples, but to play for the Islanders. Adopted Cagliaritano, you could say. Seems to hail from Cagliari, Cagliaritano. Eletto. Swept upfield by Matteo Duccio. Kune, little miss kick from him. That will surely be a foul. That's what Milan need right now, just to get back on the ball. Bolzan just taking his time. He is on a yellow card, Bolzan. Only negative in his first half. And that second goal. Hodzic, meanwhile, on a yellow for the Rossoneri. Bonomi. Now Magni. Bonomi once again. What can he conjure up from this position? Chipped in by Bonomi. And a mix-up at the back now. Vinci Guerra. He impresses, who knows, maybe one day, brother-in-law Barella. That captain's armband with real pride. Federico Arma, also one of the captains in the Cagliari squad. Vinci Guerra has that honour today. Dreaming of getting his hands on the trophy. Some feet, as we said, dumping out Torino, Fiorentina, Juventus, and now potentially the better of Milan in the final. As for Milan, it's that victory against Inter in the quarterfinals that really stands out. On penalties, Vinci Guerra. For Balde, the idea was there, but it was overhit. Comes up from Balde, the midfielder, who made that run from deep. He was also involved in the second, entered the first. Part of the build-up to the second goal. Tucked home by Bolzan. Stunning shot here of the Arena Civica. 2 centuries of history. Iconic venue right in the heart of Milano, Parco Sempione, that's where we are. I've never visited Milano. The Castello Sforzesco, the castle nearby, Duomo also nearby. The Arco della Pace as well, Arch of Peace. Tourism board will be happy with me plugging the city. If you don't want to come for the sights, come for the calcio into Milan. Expensive Lombardy derbies as well this year, the likes of Como and Atalanta, Monza. Tussling out in the Italian top flight. It's northern region. That's a wayward ball, but the referee stops the Rossoneri players in the tracks. Whistle went in front of Fabio Pisacane. Sport Italia, meanwhile, are broadcasting this to Italian audiences. Exclusive rights to all the pre-match interviews as well. From both coaches as well, just reiterating their messages on the eve of this match. Guidi saying it's a final, you play finals to win them, to fight tooth and nail to win the trophy. For Pisacane, it's about this remarkable run and the journey they've been on. Players also paying a lot of tribute to Pisacane, helping instill that winning mentality into the side. That's the message from the Cagliari players when they've been asked to speak about Pisacane, his kind of impact that he has had. In fact, meanwhile, we've seen it this season, continuing the work done by his predecessor, Abate. A Scudetto winner with the rossoneri, a Super Coppa Italiana winner. As Milan now make their first changes, Sala to come on and Nielsen. Hodzic, one of those, he was on a yellow, so that's a wise move. Makes way here for Sala. Nielsen to come on, we'll find that he'll be making way at the back, you'd assume, Nielsen being a defender. Christian Comotto coming off. Nielsen then. He's a defender by trade. We'll see whether he'll slot into the midfield or whether the defenders will push up here. Still no changes then from them. Zakana just keeping his cards close to his chest. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're just trying to turn. Top left of your picture, slowly making his way back to the bench. Magni. Good work, Ray. Whistle does go. So much motivation to win this, also to go through and play the Super Coppa Italia Primavera. Between the league winners and the cup winners. It traditionally used to be first team level, senior level in it in Serie A. Now it's been expanded to a 4-team competition. Semi-finals and a final. That's a very clever ball. Sala immediately involved, now Nielsen. Bakune. Still. Nielsen. Milan will settle for a corner. They need something like that. They need something to give them a bit of a lift right now, a bit of belief. Help steer them back on course. Filled in by Liberali. Booted back out. That's where the Cagliari supporters are sitting. Forza Cagliari going around the ground. Come on, Cagliari. Casteddu, as it's known in the Sardinian dialects, the word Cagliari. And going back to the fact that it's such a proud island. Their customs, their traditions, their dialect, cuisine. Much like, say, Sicily. In fact, all regions in Italy really are entrenched in their past and very proud of their past. Italy is actually a very young country. For so long it was divided just into regions, which were like little mini countries. Head into the box. Step forward, the likes of Cavour and Garibaldi, Mazzini. Heading the way to modern day Italy. Magni's ball. There's a little slip there. No penalty. Is he just suggesting here? There is shirt tugged by Grandu. Cagliari respond to Milan's changes with some changes of their own. Find out who's going to make way here. So out about one of them. And he gave away the penalty in the first half. Fortunately for him, didn't prove costly. Langella coming on here. Final 30 minutes plus. Bolzano was on a yellow and netted the second. Makes way. Ashur comes on. We've also got Trepi to come on. Two Frenchmen then, Ashur and Trepi, and Vinci Guerra makes way. Standing ovation, great reception. The Cagliari supporters. Now down to Trepi to lead the line. Treble change then from Pisacane to bring home this result. He was one of the scorers against Fiorentina in the final 8, so he's left his mark in the competition. And number 94 now playing alongside Ashur up top. Manny just running into Grandu. Flag stayed down, and then it does eventually go up and stop. Now Trepi in his tracks. 19 back in January. French forward. He's also qualified for Italy. Chance of Forza Cagliari going round. Ashur. Was he fouled there? He was. A bit early, of course, just they're looking for fouls and running down the clock. This fixture, a nighttime game. To know to play it at the 1500 local time kickoff, keeping in the kickoff times of the previous rounds. It hasn't always had a fixed home, the Coppa Italia Primavera. Had the Gevis Stadium be a venue before, San Siro we've mentioned. So Prosesto's ground as well, a few years ago. The Mega Serie A hoping to make this a fixed venue. Very much like we've had the Mappe Stadium in recent years. Mappe Training Centre be the base for the Scudetto finals in recent years, so we'll see how things develop. How things are developing so far for Cagliari are very, very positive indeed. Less than 30 minutes away from glory. Paloschi's ball. Frankie just away. Now Litetta. Calde. Langella. A bit of space in between the lines here. Not sure, but it still goes. So coming back from an offside position. Ashur. Another change for the Rossoneri. Garcia, who had the penalty towards the end of the first half, comes off. Scotti comes on. Match winner against Lecce. It's thanks to his goal that Milan are here in the final. Some glum expressions right now. Unsurprisingly, of course. Now chance to break for Cagliari. Litetta. Changing hands quickly. Isakane pacing up and down in his technical area. The Cagliari boss. Neletu. Crossfield pass from him. Long-range strike in the first half. Now Liberali's ball. Bonomi jumping up. Neletu trying to bring it under control. Liliev and company very happy just to see that go out on that far side. Balde. Beretu as well to win back the ball. And very much like the first half, Milan seeing plenty of the ball, in fact dominating the possession. Just like that cutting edge, that clinical side that Cagliari have had to their game today. 2 chances, 2 goals. That's Route 1 stuff, that's what Milan need right now. Just to get it through the middle, try and put a bit of panic, perhaps, into the Cagliari defence. And Fiorentina have been the dominant teams in recent years of the competition, and I'm surprised they have 8 wins apiece. And they follow behind with Inter on 6. Losky right into the middle, right into the heart. The Cagliari defence. Atalanta, Lazio 3 wins apiece, and then we come on to Milan 2, just like Lecce, Bari, Avellino. Lots of sides with just that 1 triumph. Empoli, Genoa, Sampdoria, Napoli, Udinese, Cremonese, and Cagliari are so close they can taste it to joining those teams. Scotti. Great work, still with Scotti. It's worth a go from Filippo Scotti. Kept it in play. That turn, he's really fresh. You know, he has that left thigh heavily bandaged up. Pace to burn. It's taken quickly. Smart idea. Letu's ball in. It's still there! Oh, that was close. Milan thought they'd found a way back. Iliev and company so grateful. And it went wide. And it was Bonomi who's really looking to make amends after that penalty miss in the first half. Was that the chance for Milan? Is it another sign this is going to be Cagliari's afternoon, Cagliari's day? And there with the great, the legendary Gigi Riva, the late Gigi Riva. Goals fired Cagliari to their one and only Scudetto in 69-70. Passed away tragically, sadly, last year. Cagliari seems made another change in the meantime. Fitano's come on. The Rombo di Tuono, the clap of thunder, as he was known. One back by Cagliari. They can break now. Grandu. Litetta. A Shurbu chase. Might come here to Treppi. Here is Treppi! And that'll do it for Cagliari. The substitute opens up more daylight between Cagliari and Milan. And they're now another step closer to getting their hands on the big prize, making history and winning the Coppa Italia Primavera for the first ever time. From distance, Treppi, who netted against Fiorentina in the final 8. But this will be even sweeter. Took a deflection on its way through. Longoni couldn't keep it out. Despite the best efforts of the Milan keeper. Wrong-footed. And Treppi puts his name on the score sheet, joins Vinci Guerra, joins Bolzan. As the players etching their names in Cagliari history books. 20 minutes left on the clock. Anything can happen, of course, but it's a mountain to climb for the Rossoneri. Can they keep their heads up? If they are to create a remarkable comeback, they need to get a goal very quick indeed. Cagliari have been so strong this season at the back. Only 28 goals conceded in the league. 9 clean sheets all competitions. On course to make it 10 in the showpiece event here. It's Guidi's Milan. Ashur. What we were saying about Cagliari being clinical today. 3 chances, 3 goals. Grandu. As for Milan, they've had the opportunities, just haven't made them count. Either thwarted by Iliev or just lacking that precision in the final third with the shot, that final pass. Disappointment for the Milan supporters, everyone involved with the club. Hoping to end that 15-year wait for a Coppa Italia Primavera triumph. Stroppa, the last coach to guide Milan to the competition and win it. Grandu. Frankie. Played down the line. It's gone straight out. That's the kind of impact you want from your substitute. Inspired change by Pisacane. They're in good voice. Plenty have actually made the trip over from the island of Sardinia to be here. So, of course, family members watching their boys out on the pitch. Also fans as well, supporters, such as the bond between Cagliari, the football club, and Cagliari the city, the people of Cagliari and the people of Sardinia. It represents an entire island Don't want to allow Milan back into the match. Don't want to set up a nervy finale. So Bonomi and Liberali standing over it. Put it in by Bonomi. Headed across, and Paloschi just couldn't keep it down. Would have been the best way to mark his 50th appearance for the Milan Primavera, with a goal in the final. A goal to reignite hopes, give them some belief going into the final quarter hour of play. Fired over. Knows that was close. He winds up here. Just looks to ease the pressure, just take it away from his penalty area. Scotti. Treppi coming back. No foul, we're playing on. He stayed down here, the Frenchman. Should it end this way, Milan, everybody involved will be disappointed, but they know that at this stage it's about experience, it's about growth, it's about development. It's also about fair play, sportsmanship. No doubt they'll be the first Federico Guidian coming to congratulate Cagliari. But at the same time, you need that competitive edge, you need trophies on the line. It's what helps you grow, helps you develop and improve. Salah. There's a corner. Milan need anything they can get right now, anything they can just anchor onto to keep those dwindling hopes alive. So Victor Letu to take, not Liberali on this occasion. Letu's ball is still there. Cagliari managed to get it away. To the assistant on this near side. Also accustomed to, of course, watching senior football. Strange not to have any VAR or assistant VAR, any on-field reviews. Booted upfield there. Now Petrucci on the volley. He was there. The cleanest of strikes there, Vincenzo Perucci. Cagliari can come forward. A little bit stretched here. Natural as we go towards this stage of the match. Tiredness creeping in. Long throw. Letu sticking in a boot. Neeson with the Swede, who experienced at first team level in his native Switzerland before joining the Rossoneri Academy. Dutu. Paloschi. Bonomi. Good work from him. Certainly wasn't going to give up the ghost. Taken quickly by Bonomi. Here's Scotti. Bonomi. Petrucci was free there. Bonomi's throw. That's clearly a foul by Dutu. Nothing intentional, but went competing for the ball, and he got all of his opposite number there of his opponent. You can see Casteddu, what we were mentioning earlier, for Cagliari in the Sardinian dialect. Sardinian pride then shining bright in the Milanese sun here as we go towards 5 o'clock local time. Aliev. Tutu looked to carry it forward. Aletu, nicely done. Here is Scotty. It's a wonderful team move. Just couldn't finish it off. Iliev sticking out a glove. And Milan unable to apply that finishing touch. Fantastic football from Guidi's boys. But Iliev keeping it out. Milan look to their bench one more time. Asanji to come on. Bonomi, it's flicked on towards Asanji. Dutu's there. Cagliari struggling to clear their lines. Eventually hold firm. That's saved by Iliev. Is that the definitive turn of the corner for Cagliari? Has that just taken them over the line and ended Milan's hopes? Scotty, that little back heel. And Perucci as well. Liberali on the burst. Time though for the Rossoneri, although time is very much of the essence. The clock is not their friend right now. So the final 10 minutes of normal time. Interesting how much added time will be given. Haven't really had a chance to talk about, but in case of a draw, would go straight to a penalty shootout. Looking unlikely right now, but you never say never in football. No foul. Cagliari chance to come forward here. Treppi will chase, just leaves it, which is wise. Point squandering energy. Aletu. So much of the play passing through him today. He's done his best to keep things ticking over, and here he is. It's found Paloschi. Liberali. Cross-come shot from him. That shot a few moments ago kept out by Iliev, which was by far and away the best move of the match. Very nearly one of the goals of the tournament in terms of team goals. Anyway, now Sulev to come on for Marcolini. Sulev, who netted twice against Torino in the round of 16. Can he, very much like Treppi, come on and leave his mark? Coming off the bench, yeah, super sub. 17. .50 ball. Back upfield. Asanji now for Liberali. Scotti went looking for Bonomi. Expect Milan just to keep pushing, keep trying, at least get a consolation goal, at least something to be positive about here. Of course, reaching the final is positive. something at least a bit concrete as well, something to take away from the occasion. Their supporters as well. Nobody knows what a sliding doors moment it was, that miss in the first half. Sent it crashing against the crossbar. It was a big moment. So much relief for Pisacane and his players. Hit it well in terms of power. Just needs to be a fraction lower. Dutu. Letu. Letu and switch the play. Scotti. That's good work from Treppi and company. They forced me all the way back to Longoni. Very little to do in the second half. Longoni put the ball out the back of his net. Scotti won a foul there, right in front of the referee. Scotti, also affectionately known as Pippo Scotti, just like Filippo Inzaghi, aka Pippo Inzaghi. Started his coaching career with the Milan youth teams and Milan Primavera. The Aggiornato tournament in 2013-14. Job at first team level in 14-15. Didn't work out, didn't even qualify for Europe. Liberali chips it in. A step closer. The Islanders, the all-white jersey, bringing them luck so far. Porta fortuna. It's traditionally Milan who like to play finals in white, going back to that European Cup triumph 1989 in Barcelona against our Bucharest. Since then, Milan love to play the finals in Europe with that all-white jersey. They starred in it. Remember in that famous finals in 1994, beating Cruyff's Barcelona Dream Team. Some big names as well that night, such as Franco Baresi. Grandu, Litetta. Might come here to Treppi, away by Neeson. Really found themselves camped deep in their own half. Played the bulk of the game in Cagliari's half, but not been able to find the back of the net and get that breakthrough. Tactical masterclass really from Cagliari. As Grandu pounces on that ball. Very little of the ball, but they've netted 3 times. So adept at taking their chances and opportunities. Ruining those missed opportunities, paying the price for their profligacy. Easton helps it along. Too long then for Mr. Zlatan Ibrahimovic to endure. Liberali. Still Liberali. He's won the free kick there in a really good position, Matteo Liberali. That will surely give Zlatan Ibrahimovic a bit of a wake-up. Amazing run from Matteo Liberali. Fouled there by Malfitano. get this goal, this elusive goal, the Rossoneri. Missed penalty, only have one to save a few moments ago. A couple of efforts into the side netting. Corner in the first half from Liberali. Kept off the line by Iliev, and here goes Liberali. He won the free kick. Got a draft blocker in the Cagliari wall as well. This is Liberali! And it's gone out, last touch of a Cagliari jersey. Approaching the final minute of normal time. Leto's ball. But I just muscled off the ball there now, Malfitano. Soon it'll be all eyes on the referee. Already starting to glance at his watch. Looking for information from the fourth official as well. Much added time will be given here. An army. Full stretch. May have hurt himself in the process. Delilah raw from Grandu. He's tussled away all game. Cagliari feel they're there now. They will be the winners of the 53rd edition of the Coppa Italia Primavera. He looks at his watch, there's 4 minutes left to go. Minutes just to, as we say, just get a little consolation goal. Della bandierina, as it's known in Italian. A goal of the little flag. Nearly F away. Towards the Cagliari supporters. Just minutes away from getting the party started. Scotty long throw. 50-50 ball. Swept away. Cagliari Primavera, who'll be no doubt looking forward to parading the trophy as well at the Unipol Doma Stadium. Home to the Cagliari first team. Cagliari first team who take on Inter this weekend, but at San Siro. Meanwhile, over to Udine, taking Udinese in the Friday night fixture. Bonami, nice work, booted away. Ngoni, Salah, 2 minutes for Milan. 2 minutes to at least find a goal. Iliev's come off his line. It's worked wonders from Iliev. That third goal that really did it, of course. Really put that ambition of trying to get away back into the game out of sight, really, for Milan. Cagliari, that 3-goal cushion. And they can afford to just sit even deeper, really, close down the space even more. No need to take any unnecessary risks. To Milan, try to play their game, stick to their philosophy. Seen glimpses of it, had their chances. look on the positives, getting the better of Genoa into Lecce to make it to the final, but Cagliari, just look at their run. Torino, Fiorentina, Juventus, and now Milan. Make this extra sweet. One of the surprise packages of the competition, of the tournament. So kind of just want these players just to wait, respect the allotted time. There's still 30 seconds to be played. The upsets, you could say, at youth level in recent years. We saw Lecce a few years ago actually win the title. Now we're going to have Cagliari win the cup. 4 minutes almost up. I think the referee will just allow this free kick to come in. And then Cagliari will be officially the Coppa Italia Primavera winners. Final passage of play. And there goes the full-time whistle. Cagliari win the Coppa Italia Primavera for the first time in their history. We are witnessing history unfold in front of our very eyes. Bully the Flamengo's also part of the party. The Islanders have done it. 3-0 winners. Vinci Guerra, Bolzan, Treppi, the three names forever etched in Cagliari club history. Commiserations to Milan, who marched all the way to the final, but they were unable to win the competition for the third time in their history. Cagliari were more clinical. Cagliari were the more solid of the two teams, and they deserve this 3-0 win. The day belongs to them. Fabio Pisacane, the architect, the mastermind, guiding and coaching Cagliari to this unbelievable triumph against all odds. They've been the surprise package. They've rarely been the favourites, but they dumped out the likes of Torino, Fiorentina and Juventus, and then they went that extra yard by beating Milan, the two-time winners of the competition. And now Cagliari, a part of Coppa Italia Primavera folklore. They're in the history books now. They lap it up. The players lap up the adulation from their supporters. Plenty have made the trip over from the island of Sardinia. Some high-profile faces also in the stands. One of those, Nicolò Barella, a Cagliari Academy graduate. Fresh from his triumph with Inter in Munich, he's here to cheer on the Cagliari Primavera, his former club, the club where it all started. It's too much for many. Tears of joy. Vinci Guerra said he's been waiting for this moment all his life ahead of kickoff. That's what he said. And he's grasped this opportunity. Cagliari have grasped this opportunity. The 53rd edition of this prestigious youth competition goes the way of Cagliari. Vinci Guerra, Bolzan and Treppi, the scorers. Milan had a chance to put themselves back into the match just before the break. Sia won a penalty. Bonomi sent the penalty, though, against the crossbar. One of the many turning points, sliding doors moments. Cagliari never looked back. They got that third goal. Milan huffed and puffed. They saw all of the ball. They dominated the possession. They had lots of chances. At times for a lack of precision. At times also Iliev pulling out all the stops to keep the Rossoneri at bay. And now Cagliari can relish, can revel here in this moment. Milan will now focus back to league matters. They sit 9 points ahead of Cagliari in the league table. They'll have to battle it out for a slot in the playoffs. That's their next objective after today's disappointment. And it will be disappointing, but they will learn. It's how you learn from losing finals, losing in these moments. Of course, everybody wants to win, but you also have to remember it's youth football. It's about the progress they make, the learning curve, the development. There'll be plenty of that after this afternoon's game. When the dust settles, they will look back with pride, of course, the run to the final. It's ended in a sour note for them, but back, quarter-final victory on penalties against Inter. Narrow win against Lecce to get them over the line. It's all about Cagliari today. The Islanders doing Sardinia proud. Fabio Pisacane hoisted aloft. In his first season, he's guided the Primavera to the Coppa Italia Primavera. What a moment for the former Cagliari player. Now winning silverware as a coach, cutting his teeth. Fabio Pisacane. The players themselves have said he's brought a winning mentality. The proof is in the pudding. Those Cagliari supporters will now want to see their boys lift the coveted prize, the silverware, the Coppa Italia, in all its glory. In the afternoon sunshine here in Milano, we're at the Arena Civica, Parco Sempione, in the heart of the city. Glorious weather. The sunshine very much reflecting the mood for Cagliari right now. Their players, their fans, while the first team are battling it out to avoid relegation. They're on course to do that. The club can be proud that the next generation are lifting silverware. Future very bright for this club. Against all odds, winning the Coppa Italia. Looking at the 8-time winners Torino in the round of 16. Torino renowned for their academy, for their youth sector. Beretta, former Cagliari coach, watching on in the stands. And Fiorentina won 5 of the past 6 editions of the Coppa Italia in the quarter-finals. Then Juventus, a club that needs no introduction. Reti Bianconeri eliminating them in the semi-finals. And then Milan in the final. As we were saying at the very top, anything can happen in a final. Form, history counts for only so much. There the Quattro More, the famous Sardinia flag, and there is Nicolò Barella. We said he was in the house to watch on his former club, the club where it all started, and so mentioning son of Vinci Guerra, who's reportedly at least going out with Barella's sister. There's Barella's wife to his left, and his children in his arms. Nicolò Barella, a family man who reportedly recently linked with a move to the Middle East, but reportedly not interested, turning down funny money, silly money, stay in Italy. Mauro Tassotti, Milan great. We've seen plenty of them over the course of the afternoon. Stacurta Gilardino, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, which we've seen on plenty of occasions, seeing his role currently with Milan as an advisor and director. Alongside Jeffrey Moncada. Forlani isn't here today, he's reportedly in the USA. Another stunning shot of this iconic venue, Arena Civica. Gianni Brera, its full name. It's in the background, the Castello Sforzesco, which we've mentioned on more than one occasion. Those who are very eagle-eyed may have also spotted the Duomo as well, the cathedral. Mori. Sardinia flag. With this, they'll have a chance to win more silver as well, Cagliari. So they'll qualify for the Super Coppa Italiana as well. They'll be taking on the league winners, of course. No who's won the league as yet, also because it's decided by a playoff and a final. We'll find out very soon, though. A month or so time. But let's not get carried away. Let's not take any attention away from Cagliari and Fabio Pisacane. Their achievement for the first ever time in their first ever final in the Coppa Italia Primavera. In the background you can also see the more modern side of Milano with the skyscrapers, the grattacieli. Part of the city where Inter HQ is also located in Viale della Liberazione, a little bit far away meanwhile from Casa Milan. That's the other side of the city, more towards the Lotto part of Milano. Moments these young lads will never forget. No doubt they'll also be taking a moment to think about those players who couldn't feature because of injury. The likes of Carlo Soldati missed out today for the Islanders. Noon as well, unable to feature the 19-year-old who has had plenty of playing time, and a roar from the Islanders. Missione compiuta, mission accomplished, reads that scarf. Very much mission accomplished. The best very much is yet to come in terms of the celebrations as well. And what's ahead for Cagliari? Who knows, maybe with this, can they now squeeze back into contention for a playoff spot? It's unlikely, seeing as they trail Milan, who are 9 points ahead and in 7th, but never say never. The Coppa Italia trophy in all its glory. Soon we will have the award ceremony. It's the cries of Campeones, Campeones ring around here. It'll be difficult for Cagliari to also look ahead to their next fixtures as well. They'll have to, once they've got their celebrating, of course, all out of their system, they will have to start looking ahead and focusing on the league again. And right now the desire is only to party, make the very most of this. 10th Cagliari in the league, behind Milan. Again, commiserations to the Rossoneri. This wasn't to be their day. Approach didn't quite pay off, despite seeing all of the ball, trying to take the initiative, play more of the football. Cagliari very happy to play to their strengths, their trademark, which is their defensive solidity. And they have the best defence in the Primavera Championship. Today they racked up their 10th shutout, and 3 of those coming in the Coppa Italia. The goals they conceded against Fiorentina in the final 8. Now Milan and the referees just taking their spot here. We will shortly have the award ceremony. Wait to see who'll be handing out the medals and the trophy. We spotted Luigi De Siervo earlier, once in front, and many years now has been the CEO, managing director of Lega Serie A. Ezio Simonelli, the Serie A president, over from Lorenzo Casini recently. Again, for Cagliari, all one is to get their medals, get that trophy. They will, of course, show their sportsmanship, their fair play, and thank the referees and their opponents, the Rossoneri, who had the edge in terms of the league meetings this season, winning in Milan, drawing in Sardinia. It was Cagliari winning the final. We said the final's just a different kettle of fish altogether. One-off game, anything can happen. I mentioned the word episodi, those match incidents, match episodes, which can change the course of the game. We saw that with the penalty miss. That could really be the point. Looking back now, in hindsight, you can say where momentum really did shift completely, and the tide very much definitively in favour of Cagliari. Let's listen now to the stadium announcer for a moment. Announcing the arrival of the trophy, the Coppa Italia. And the medals, of course, which follow suit. There she is. We're not referring to the hostess, we're referring to the trophy. Now Ezio Simonelli is here. We mentioned a few moments ago the Lega Serie A president. There he is, to the left of your picture. First, though, a message of thanks to the match officials, the referee. It's their moment. Too many difficult calls to make, in the sense of controversial ones. There's that penalty, which the referee had a good view of. Federico Arba's foul on Diego Sia. Good view of it. Maxime Frasignac, who gets his medal for his involvement here at the Arena Civica, Gianni Brera. And of course his assistants and the fourth official. Now shortly we'll pay tribute to the Rossoneri, the Milan Primavera. He fell short at the final hurdle. Milan who unable to win the final as they did 15 years ago. Federico Guidi unable to win for the second time after guiding Roma to success in 2023. Federico Guidi congratulating every single Cagliari player, Federico Guidi, as he makes his way onto the stage here on the podium for his runners-up medal. It's called a loser's medal, is far too harsh. Runners-up medal, though, very competitive side of him will see it that way. But at this level, you can't think too much in a cutthroat manner. It's also about the experience and being involved and learning. And that development and these moments that can help spur on players. Never want to have that losing feeling again. I want another runners-up medal. But again, once the dust has settled, they'll look back with pride. The run to the final in this iconic venue as well. Serie A. If you did join us very late in our coverage, hope to make this the venue, the location for all Coppa Italia Primavera finals in the future. A lot of work done to get the playing surface up to tip-top condition. It's historic as well. It's in the heart of Milano. It's in a lovely location, Parco Sempione, in the middle of a park. So many sites in and around as well. It's part of the city. And with this, Milan will try and turn this negative, though, into a positive, into the league. Get back to winning ways. Lost the past two in the Primavera Championship. And now they'll focus back to try and getting a playoff spot. So after the loss in the UEFA Youth League final, then last term against Olympiacos, it's another defeat in a final. Losing and slipping up just at the final hurdle for the Rossoneri youngsters. But again, another learning curve, another step on the way towards what these players hope will be a successful career at first team level, at professional level in the future. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the Coppa Italia Primavera 24-25. It's Cagliari. As the stadium announcer reads off every single name, and the Cagliari supporters lap it up as well. You just listen in as well to our live coverage here from the Arena Civica Gianni Brera. Those players getting their winners' medals. Listen to the roar for Vinci Guerra, the captain, man who paved the way to the victory, getting the opening goal. Bolzan the second and the sub Trepi with the third. Very much also encapsulates what Cagliari are about. Clinical at one end, tight at the other. And now the coaching staff and the backroom staff, their names are being read off now by the stadium announcer here. Listen also shortly for the roar. And we hear the word, or rather the name, Fabio Pisacane. And his name is read out once again, the captain. Man who paved the way to victory for Cagliari, Alessandro Vinciguerra. All set to get his hands on the trophy. C'è solo un capitano. There's only one captain. It's the chant which is going around. And here he is, their one and only captain. Alessandro Vinciguerra hoists aloft the Coppa Italia Primavera. Congratulations to Cagliari. The Coppa Italia Primavera winners for the 2024-2025 season. 3-0 winners against Milan. Juventus, Fiorentina and Torino, their other victims, en route to conquering the big prize. And they will be partying long into the night. Vinciguerra and company, their first thought to take the trophy over to their supporters. Plenty of them who have made the trip over from Sardinia to cheer them on, and they have been rewarded with their lengthy journey with the silverware. Well, thank you very much for joining us for our live coverage of the Coppa Italia Primavera final. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Cagliari, the 53rd edition of the competition. Cagliari for the first ever time having their name graved onto the trophy. Commiserations to Milan. But the day belongs to Cagliari. Final score then, before we say farewell. It is Milan 0, Cagliari 3. We'll leave you with this footage and images of Cagliari's party and their celebrations after winning the Coppa Italia Primavera. Thank you very much. Surely we will recap all the action once again with the highlights. But in the meantime, and while we await the best of the action from the final, we'll let you enjoy these moments and savour Cagliari's party and their celebrations after winning the Coppa Italia Primavera.
ed il Cagliari, due squadre che si fronteggiano.
The best of the action now between Cagliari and Milan in the Coppa Italia Primavera final. Milan aiming to win the competition for the third time in their history. They made a bright start. Here was Aletu's strike from distance, but it was straight at the keeper. Corner caused a few issues. Cagliari holding firm. It would be Cagliari who drew first blood here. Grandu's ball, and Vinci Guerra just pouncing, racing through, and he set himself up, and what a cool finish from Alessandro Vinci Guerra. Cagliari barely had a sniff up until that point, but showing their cutting edge, their clinical edge. Alessandro Vinci Guerra, one of the goal heroes against Juventus in the semi-finals, leaving his mark in the showpiece final. And fueling hopes and ambitions of a first ever win for Cagliari, who've never won the competition before. And then Liberali, this was a smart ball. Comotto, though, saw his effort punched away by Iliev in the Cagliari goal. Then Liberali with the corner. Iliev once again somehow keeping it out. Cagliari showing why they have the best defence in the Primavera Championship. And then they went and opened up a two-goal cushion. Longoni to Bolzan on the turn. Right place, right time. 2 goals to the good. It was moments before the break. Unbridled joy for Cagliari. Bolzan, another one on target against Juventus in the final 4. There was a little scare, however, before the break for Cagliari. Diego Sia brought down here by Arba. And the referee pointing to the penalty spot. Bonomi would step up. Bonomi, though, saw his effort crash against the crossbar and missing the chance to give Milan a lifeline moments before the half-time whistle. Disappointment for Bonomi. It was a sliding doors moment. And at half-time then Cagliari, 2 goals to the good, very much in the driving seat. And seeing so much of the ball in the second period here. Scotti was a second half sub, doing his very best to try and find a way back. Here was a nice view of an opportunity, which was sent wide again. But it was Cagliari who the more clinical of the two teams here. Treppi, a second half sub, letting rip. And that was the third goal, opening up even more daylight between the Islanders and the Rossoneri, taking Cagliari a step closer to glory. Took a deflection on its way through, and Bonomi and Milan not giving up. Paloschi trying his very best to get a goal back. This is a wonderful team move. Scotti, Rucci involved, and it was Liberali's strike. But Iliev, who had a great game, managed to keep it out. And then the full-time whistle went. Cagliari crowned Coppa Italia Primavera winners for the first time in their history. 3-0 winners. Commiserations to Milan.
Al cavo della...